Welcome back to Kelpar Bros. Jason and I are fresh off the segment regarding Lori Lightfoot proposing dome scenarios that won't work for Soldier Field. In the second segment, we're going to be discussing Deshaun Watson's suspension and the subsequent challenge. And Jason, I feel like at this point we've heard enough from proponents of the suspension and some detractors of the suspension, and ultimately at the end of the day it's going to end up in Roger Goodell's hands anyway. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, that's basically what's going to happen. You had this one judge effectively say it's going to be at 6 games, and pretty much the NFL and Roger Goodell is effectively the judge, jury, and executioner on occasion.
So actually, yes, the NFL suspended Watson for 6 games. That was determined by our outside arbitrator judge. There isn't going to be an appeal, which actually also going to be heard by somebody separate as well, not Roger Goodell. But Roger Goodell gets to pick the person who hears it, which he's already picked somebody apparently, which we'll go into. So that, again, another separate individual person will hear the appeal. And then whatever happens in the appeal, that will be final.
But yeah, basically at this point, I don't think there's no chance that he's gonna be suspended some games, correct?
Unless this other judge says, hey, you know what? I don't think he should get any games, which I don't foresee that happening. But yeah, but as of right now, if that's not the case, then yeah, he's going to be getting 6, and at least 6. But Goodell and the NFL pushing for him to get at least a full season. I know that's something you and I discussed before when it comes to, him missing the whole season, which is what I originally thought because the NFL said they are going to push for him getting a significant suspension back when all that stuff, started kicking off as far as the investigations. So obviously when he only got 6 games, and I say only, so when he only got 6 games, that's when they said, no, we're going to appeal that. You're getting your 17. I don't think he's going to get the full 17 because the precedent has been set that it's 6, and they can only present evidence that was already seen before, nothing new. So I just have a hard time believing, which I could be wrong, but I have a hard time believing this, again, new judge, Attorney General Peter C. Harvey, former New Jersey Attorney General Peter C. Harvey. I have a hard time believing that individual going to jump it from 6 to 17 based off stuff that's already out there compared to anything new. You know what I mean? If you still make it more than 6, but going from 6 to 17, I don't see it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, you gotta. I remain conflicted about this because on general principalities, this motherfucker should not be playing. Like, I'm a little grossed out that he even has a chance to play. That being said, at least there's being some sort of punishment meted out. And as long as the NFL isn't letting him walk scot-free, and he has to pay these women this money, on the civic side, I'm not as torn about it as I was perhaps 2 weeks ago.
Well, again, that's the thing, though. The NFL clearly has no say in any of this other than the appeal. I mean, they appealed it, but again, judge made the ruling at 6, so the judge can make his ruling at that point. NFL has nothing to do with it. They can push for something, but it don't matter. The judge can say, okay, we'll give him more games. We'll give him 8. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not saying that he shouldn't get the full 17, but I'm just not seeing that it's going to happen. And I kind of have a feeling that the Browns signed him in the offseason knowing that he's probably not going to get the full 17. I mean, why would you sign a guy and pay him some money if you know he's not going to play the whole season?
Well, they knew. I still maintain that guaranteed deal is dumb as hell because you have no idea what can happen with player conduct issues, especially with this player. So, to to your point, shit, Cleveland front office may have known something.
Well, I saw a story the other day that apparently other team ownership were not. I didn't read the details, but they weren't happy with the contract that he got from the Browns because apparently, again, the Browns knew he was going to get suspended. So the games he's going to miss, they structured the contract where the games he's going to miss, those games weren't paying him as much as the games like later in the season. So again, why other teams are mad about that, I don't know. I personally kind of think that's probably smart business. If you know he's going to get suspended and you still want to pay him his money, is what it is. Um, I don't know if you have any thoughts about that, but yeah.
So just so I understand, so what sort of money are we talking? Are we talking like, oh, he got basically he missed out on like $50 on these 6 games? What are you trying to say?
I'm pretty sure the money he's missing is not $50 a game. I'll pull up his contract and what he's getting here, but what I'm saying is that they back obviously players get paid in the NFL. It's not it's guaranteed money they get, but as far as their game checks, if you don't play, you're not getting paid. So, but if they structure the contract in a way like to say, okay, you're still getting paid this much per season, which obviously you can break it down per game, but we're structuring the contract for this season's play. Say these games, like say first 8 games, you're gonna get paid this much, which is like say 20% of your paycheck. But it will pay you the other 80% in the second half of the games. That way you're not missing as much. Hang on one second, Deshaun Watson. But that's what I'm referring to. You feel me?
Yeah, I hear you.
There you go. So he's getting okay. So he's. I'm not sure this is part of his salary because. It's got to be because looking at SpotTrack.com, his salary for the 2022 season is only $9 million compared to 54 the next four seasons at least. So some of that might be part of the suspension money he's losing. So if he was going to get paid 54, he's not getting that much. He has a huge pay cut anyway. But still, that's what I'm referring to there.
Gotcha.
And most of that's signing bonus. So yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. At this point, I'm almost more concerned about what conduct will be allowed by him going forward than the conduct that already took place.
Like what? Like how so?
Like, is dude gonna have unfettered access to pretty much any massage parlor in Cleveland?
Okay, so I mean, how are they gonna? How's anybody going to restrict that?
I mean, the National Football League restricts a variety of things. It's not my job to do Roger Goodell's job. My concern is clearly Deshaun Watson has a problem, and my concern is that he actually gets some assistance with that problem. And so my goal tonight on the show is not to figure out how to build a better mousetrap, a better quagmire mousetrap for Deshaun Watson and his media team.
Well, okay. Again, I'm not trying to dismiss your concern here, and I definitely understand that, and I get it. But what I was just really saying is, and I hate to kind of sound so dismissive, but as we always say sometimes, Deshaun Watson is a grown man, right? And I'm not saying he should be allowed to do whatever he wants when it comes to massage parlors. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is, well, and even if he can't go to a massage parlor, who says he can't go somewhere else to do the same type of things, right? I mean, not putting on the same level, but obviously appearances aren't necessarily a thing with Deshaun Watson because he's on a social media video playing indoor basketball or something like that with Mia Khalifa during the midst of all this investigation stuff. And for those of you who don't know, Mia Khalifa is a former porn star. So, and again, not to say anything nefarious would happened there, but in the video, again, playing indoor basketball, Mia Khalifa's wearing some type of maid outfit, stuff like that. Again, appearances, bro. So, but with that being said, not saying he did anything nefarious with her compared to the massage parlor women, but again, he's going to do what he's going to do. Not saying he's going to do anything illegal, but he's going to go where he's going to go where he goes when he wants to go there and with who. I mean, We saw how Kyler Murray got all mad about something in his contract that will help better the team. I'm pretty sure he's not going to agree to anything contractually to say, hey, you know, to keep him from living his life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now there's any court orders. That's a different story. So that's a different story. But yeah.
So here's my question: this whole Mia Khalifa thing that you mentioned, when the hell did that happen?
That was within the last week, or not? Excuse me, not week. Last week, 2 weeks, maybe three. It was some random quick video, like 15 seconds. They were in somebody's house, either his, hers, whoever. And you know, like they had those little basketball hoops, like on doors or whatever. You know, yeah. So they were like playing, I guess, on that, and they showed type of a clip where Mia Khalifa was running towards the basket, trying to dunk, and Deshaun Watson is underneath the basket, and it's like horrible, cheeky type stuff. You know, and when I say cheeky, I don't mean like butt cheeks. I just mean funny, whatever. But again, appearances. No disrespect to Mia Khalifa and what she used to do, but again, when you have a guy who is accused of allegedly doing all these things to 24, 25 different women, whether they were working a massage parlor or not, here you are with this kind of video with that person wearing that particular outfit, like I mentioned. Again, appearances. It's like, yeah, I'm not saying you shouldn't have been doing that, but whoever put that video on social media, whether it be you, one of your boys, or one of her people, or her herself, yeah, somebody did you dirty, dog.
Yeah, this stuff doesn't do him any favors, like none.
Right. Exactly. So now I had to imagine that he would be a good, on his P's and Q's, on his toes, stuff like that, whatever, because he doesn't want to get suspended even more, lose any more money, or go to jail. Because the fact that he's avoiding jail time for all 20 something of these charges, or allegations rather, that's I don't want to say amazing in itself. I want to say amazing, but you know what I mean. But to continue to do this stuff, probably put yourself in danger of, hey, you're not getting out of this time.
Yeah, it's there's an old saying where it's better to be lucky than good. And he is definitely testing the waters for how lucky an NFL athlete can be.
Well, like I said, there's no time frame for when this. I haven't seen anything announced about when they're going to actually have this appeal hearing. And apparently, according to the NFL Player Association contracts for all this stuff, negotiated stuff for the appeals, there's no time frame for when it has to be heard based off whenever an appeal is filed. But I did see reports that it's going to be expedited because obviously the season's coming up, so you don't want to have a decision, I'm sure. But I'd imagine at some point it's probably going to happen again. Season starts. This is August. Season starts in September. I'm sure they want to get this resolved before that. So, but with that being said, we'll see what happens with the suspension. Does it remain at 6? Does it get increased to the full season? Small percentage chance of it getting decreased, which I doubt. But we shall see.
Okay. Hopefully, Deshaun Watson can hit the reset on his ascension, because this guy was supposed to be next. So
well, he still can be. I mean, like I said, he's got the contract for 5 years, 4 more after this one. Huge money. So he's the Browns guy. So he's gonna get his chance. But speaking of reset, Terrence.
Yeah, speaking of resets, we're talking about the fact that DC Comics is going to try and get their universe together. They'll be up next on Cal Park Bros.